Hello and welcome to today's video as we go over my MSI All Pros. Keep in mind, this is 100% based off stats. So if you went to KFC and expected a steak, you are in the wrong place. Essentially is what I'm trying to say. This is based on stats and also something interesting that many people might not think. I don't necessarily always agree with what the stats tell me. It's just the stats back up some of the thoughts I have. And so we can explain why stats are the way they are and why players end up ranked the way they are. The jungle role in particular is going to definitely be a conversation and a little contentious for those that skipped this part. So top lane, Zeus, Dokla, and Doran are the top three statistically. You see 4 through 11, Bin through Floran there. For the first time, I did try and account for who played more games, who played in play-ins, and the regular, which is, the main event, regular event, which is T1. Let's try to account for that. So, you see top lane, a lot of random people, a lot of these players are leading in a single category. It is the most contentious role on the board. The KDA leader was Morgan at 3.7. Zeus had a 3.1. We see kill participation, pun, 59% for Team Secret Whales. 3 out of every 5 kills. The highest on the board here is Zeus at 59, just barely under. We're looking at a 10th of a percent difference. CS per minute, Bin had more than 9 CS per minute for BLG. Obviously, Bin is a resource-hungry top laner, carry-oriented. We see Doran at 8.5. Damage divided by gold, ROI, Zuan, 1.8 for top esports. He was the one that packed the biggest punch. Damage divided by gold, the most aggressive top laner, finding opportunities to lay on damage. You might say, yeah, but he played into XYZ tank or etc. Yeah, and he's still the most aggressive top laner. He's the one that found ways he dealt damage. He's the most aggressive top laner. That stat, in my opinion, is one of the stats that can tell us that. Other stats as well. So 1.73 for Zeus, we use 1.47 for Doran, so the opposite. Share differential, Floran, 4.9 for Deep Cross Gaming. Not a shock. You'll say, but he only played in 6 games. He lost all of them. Why is he leading in the category? Because he was the only one dealing damage on his team. So that's the thing. Vision efficiency, Gigo, 3.74. He was the best at placing wards, and he was on Furia. Early game, Zeus, up 367 gold on average. He led in that category. Surprisingly enough, a lot of people want to say, oh, well, he didn't lead into Bin, so, but he provided value in the mid to late game, and that's why he's better than Bin. Now, maybe other players also, provided value in the mid to late game when Zeus was ahead. But Zeus had 367 gold on average in this tournament. Obviously, Zeus is the best top laner, maybe of all time. XP leader was Morgan, 534 ahead. You'd be like, oh, but he played Kana. Yeah, but he also played Doran 6 games. Doran isn't a bum. No matter what people say, he is not a bum. He is easily a top 10 top laner in the world. And by that logic, he's like top 0.0001%, and you are bottom 0.001%. So, it's ridiculous. What do we got here? Solo kills per game. Broken Blade average more than 1 every other game for G2. So obviously that's an aggression stat. Champions played per game actually isn't on here. It's champions played. Zeus played 12. I was trying to give the teams that played more games a little bit of a boost, not doing a per game look at that stat, and Zeus used the most champions with 12 at this event. In the jungle role, it goes Shun, Kanavi, and Skuman. Stats really aren't a great reflection of support. And then jungle, it's a little tricky. So, I have Owner 4th, Pop 9 11th. Inspired is ranked 6th statistically. Inspired is a enigma when it comes to stats. He plays the game in a way that the majority of the junglers do not. His damage profile is extremely unique. And because of that, when we use carry-oriented stats, it is nerfed. He's essentially nerfed statistically because of this. I would say he was the 3rd best jungler at this event. But statistically, he's 6th because of that just intrinsic nerf, just due to the lack of available stats to peasants like myself who can't afford to have grid. So, Sean, 4.8 KDA, but also the most involved jungler at 74%. So, most involved and not dying. That's a pretty good combination to have. CS per minute, TN 7.3 for top esports. What else do we have here? Damage divided by gold leader was Skuman 1.37, so most aggressive jungler at this event. Share differential was his toe, negative 1.8. That means he was dealing the most damage share relative to gold share for his team. He was dealing a lot of damage. Out of everybody in the jungle role here, he was the one with the highest damage profile for his team. Vision efficiency, Kanavi, the best with his wards, almost 6 vision score per ward placed. Shun, up 300 gold, 528 XP on average at 15 minutes. A very strong early game. We see solo kills. Tien had 4 in 9 games, which is pretty solid, I would say. Champions played, Kanavi played 12. Another thing, Yike and Jose are ranked 7th and 8th. Statistically, they're better than that. I'd probably put them... No, I mean statistically, sorry. Let me rephrase. They're 7th and 8th. I took them down in the rankings because of the only play-ins. And they played into Pop 9, but they also played into Owner. Especially Jose, obviously. So, you have to consider that Owner is no bum, just like I said about Doran, right? This was a super stacked jungle group. Super stacked. 10 of the 11 junglers I felt were going into this event and had a lot of proving to do. So it was very, very fun to watch how the jungle role panned out. In the mid lane role, Knight tops the charts, followed by Zeka and Saint. The gap between first and second is the largest in the 80 carry role. But Knight, you could argue, it's hard to say who the MVP of this tournament is. It very well could be Zeus, but I think outside of the last series, it's Knight's show. But in the end, Zeus won, and do you make the MVP the guy who wins? Sometimes in some sports, the MVP is the one that lost but was 1v9 for the tournament. It's a tournament MVP, not a final MVP. So, we see Faker 4th, Toots 11th. Knight 7.2 KDA, so didn't die. Most involved 69%, and highest farm 9.3. Good combination to have. Clearly fighting around him, letting him get resources. Him and Ben, very high resource heavy players. Damage divided by gold, Cream 1.99. He also, I think, led in that category coming into this event. A lot of damage out of Cream. Share differential leader was Saint 5.5. He and Berserker dealing a shit ton of damage for Lion, because Inspired is at a -6 in that category. Vision efficiency, Toots 4+, so averaging 4 vision score per ward placed, very solid. Knight leading about 300 gold at 15 minutes. He and Sean, 600 gold on average is a gap. Gold XP difference, Yahoo, 263 ahead for KC. Solo kills, Faker, almost 2 every 5 games. Champions played, Knight played 12, Zeka played 12, but Knight played in less games, so therefore, that's where the per game tiebreaker comes into play. So, that's it for the top side, now into the bot lane. Alright, so for the bot lane, you'll see that the same 3 bot lane, this is 3 bot lanes. T1, HLE, and Lion. Those are the 3 best bot lanes at this event statistically. 4th, BLG. And then after that, it was the rest. So Lion proving to be a very, very strong bot lane duo. Something I did not expect going into this event. So give them their flowers. Pays, Berserker, Guma. 1, 2, 3. The biggest gap from first to second was Pays out of all these roles. You could say, oh, the play-ins is why. Pays was hard carrying this team. Out of anybody doing a 1v9 performance, it very much was Pays. 2v8. Including carry. Pays was dealing 36%. Had multiple pentas, this and that. The guy is the best AD carry in the world. So, KDA leader was Berserker, 5.4. Didn't die. That's good. Pays, most involved, 74 kill participation. 3 out of every 4 kills, Pays was present. He led in CS at 10.3. Damage divided by gold, Jackie, 1.84. What does that mean? That top esports just dealt a shit ton of damage at this event. Share differential, IU 6.2, That meant he hard carried in damage for Furia. Vision efficiency, Jackie 3.74. If you told me before this event for pick'ems who's going to lead in vision efficiency, which is obviously a stat only I use, I would have picked Jackie because Jackie always leads in that category. Gold difference, XP difference. This is crazy. 856, 253. So 841 gold and 411 XP on average for the T1 bot lane. That is a diffy. Pays had 28 solo or 2v2 kills at this event in 21 games. Yeah. And you say, yeah, but a lot. I think he's still like top 3 in the category if you only include main event. Champions played 13. You'll say, oh, but he played in play-ins. He played 21 games. The next highest was 20. And it might have been HLE. So, I mean, maybe. Guma led in that category. Pissing contest. Sure. The rest, you see Viper through Fung. So that's a thing. Support, Delight, Carrier, Isles. KDA leader, Delight, 4.2. Didn't die a lot. That's great. Kill participation, JoJo, nearly 80%. He was the one doing the heavy lifting in the kill participation role for kill participation. He was very active, 80%. Damage divided by gold, Busio, 0.97. He dealing nearly as much damage as he had in gold, which is aggressive. Excuse me. Vision efficiency, Core JJ, 2.3. That's a great stat. You want your support to be putting down wards where people will be. Gold difference, you see Delight 160, 203. You put that on there, 880, which is better than Pays and Carrier. And then 297, which is less. So those two bot lanes very closely matched. In terms of solo kills per game, Busio had 4 and 9. Carrier about 6 or I want to say 7 or 8 in 21 games or something. 8 and 21 might be why it's 0.38. Champions played though, Isles 14. Widest champion usage out of anybody at this event was Isles. So Isles deserves credit for that, having the balls to pick shit that other people are not picking. In terms of that bot lane duo combined, not quite as big of a gap as the other two. We're not looking at 850 gold, just 430. And then XP only 100 ahead. So not quite as dominant as T1 and HLE, but dominant nonetheless. JoJo 5th, that was a surprise. Maybe, well, he's in the main event. He only played T1 and HLE, so he does deserve credit. So, Team 1 for MSI. Zeus, Sean, Knight, Pays, Delight. Team 2 was Dokla, Kanavi, Zeka, Berserker, Carrier, and then Team 3, Doran, Skuman, Saint, Guma, Isles. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.